Something that's been in the news a lot lately is the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that has basically fallen below a lot of people's expectations, mainly because after its launch back on December 10th of 2020, the game has received negative reviews, especially for its bugs and its glitches and its occasional crashes, which was a common complaint from people who purchased the game. And this was for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions of that particular game. I believe it was also for the Google Stadia as well. Those versions were released. A lot of people pretty much criticized the game for its glitches and its faults and all that stuff, things that should have been cleaned up before its launch, especially considering the fact that the game was in development from the better part of the teens decade. As a matter of fact, I believe Cyberpunk 2077 was announced back in late 2012. That's when you got to see the teaser, and then I believe we got like a reveal trailer back in 2013. So basically, the game has been in development since the early teens, and it just came out this year, and the launch was pretty poor. Now, there's a lot of people who will argue that there is no excuse why CD Projekt Red could not have put out a more polished product or a more polished version of the game than what we got, prior to its release. But the thing is, there's really no excuse for the most part, considering the fact that the release date for Cyberpunk 2077 has been pushed back multiple times. I believe at one point it was supposed to come out last year in 2019, and it didn't, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out much sooner than that as well, but it never did because it kept getting pushed back. And as the game is being pushed back over and over and over again, a lot of people are thinking in their mind, you know something, they must be polishing the game up before its release, and they want us to have the best gameplay experience possible. And unfortunately that was not the case, but they're supposed to be making patches to the game sometime in 2021 before the PS5, the Xbox Series X version of the game come out in, next year. But the thing is, like, the launch was so bad and it was so, critically panned among the gaming community to a point where I believe CD Projekt Red faced a suit from a lawyer that represented the investors of the game because apparently there was concealed information that was withheld from the investors. They didn't really get to see much of the game itself, how it played, or what the final product looked like, because if they knew what it looked like or what they were investing to, a lot of them probably would have pulled out or what have you. But the thing is, this whole thing could have been avoided if, the game was beta tested more, or, whether or not, more time was focused on trying to make sure that the game is well polished and that the bugs and the glitches and all that stuff just wasn't there. But because of this, a lot of people are infuriated by it, especially considering the fact that a lot of time and a lot of money went into this game, and the launch could have been so much better than what it was. But I'm pretty sure that, once the game gets patched up, hopefully it'll be the game that a lot of people thought that they were going to see not too long ago on December 10th. And I'm pretty sure the game itself, with the bugs and the patch, it'll still be a pretty enjoyable game, because despite all of its, negatives and all its faults and, the glitches and it being unplayable for the PS4 and the Xbox One, there was a lot of strong points in the game as well, like the amount of depth within the story, the expansiveness in the side quest, the visual quality, and I guess the cyberpunk setting, obviously, and stuff like that were all expected. When before Cyberpunk 2077 came out, a lot of people thought it was going to exceed their expectations, when in reality it fell below a lot of their expectations. And also there was a bit of controversy in regards to the portrayal of transgender people within the game, and I guess that's something that it really bothers people depending on what your political beliefs are or what your preferences are. But maybe to them it didn't really matter too much. But, in general, this game, right now at the moment, is considered to be a hot mess. and hopefully CD Projekt Red can fix that up in 2021, and the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X versions of the game will be much better than the PS4 and the Xbox One versions of what we got this year.